Good morning Year 5 and welcome to your Friday maths lesson. Please pause the video while you put today's date and learning objective to multiply mixed numbers by an integer or whole number. Underline them with a ruler and do your flashback 4 into your book please. Don't forget to lose time. Let's see how you did. Use your blue pen please to mark your answers. Pause the video while you do that. Let's move into today's learning. So, last lesson we looked at multiplying unit fractions or non-unit fractions by an integer. And remember, integer means a whole number. Today we're going to multiply mixed numbers by an integer using the same skills. Here are your get ready questions. Pause the video while you have a go at them. Number 1. 2 times 3/11. Well, that's easy. We do 2 times the numerator, which would be 6/11. 2 whole ones times 5 whole ones is 10. Can you see how question 3 is using both parts of 1 and 2? So we've got 2 times the 5, like this one, and 2 times the 3/11, like this one, but they're all in one question together. So the answer is 10 and 6/11. On number 4, 5 and 1/10 multiplied by a number will make 35 and 7/10. So we have to imagine splitting it down like this. 5 times what whole number would make 35 whole ones? 7. Let's check it works with our fraction as well. 1 times what number would give me 7/10? Also 7. So we know the answer is 7. Well done. Let's learn. 1 milk bottle contains 2 3/13 of a litre. How much milk is in 4 of these bottles? So if you imagine one of those bottles with that, and I want to know how much is in 4 of those same bottles. So I'm multiplying this number by 4 to find out how much is in 4 bottles. Now we can imagine making this into the part-whole model, splitting it down like we just did in our get ready questions. So we're going to split it down into our whole one, 2 times by the 4 first, up here. And then I'm going to do my fraction, 3/13 times by the 4, down here. 2 whole ones times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12, so it's 12/13. And then I just need to remember to put those two parts back together to get the full answer, which is 8 whole ones and 12/13 in litres. Let's have a go at this one. 4 times 2 3/13. Well, we can picture it in a bar model. 13ths tells me how many pieces are in the whole one, and here you can see I've got 13/13 in one whole one, 13/13 in another whole one, and 3/13. So that's 2 whole ones and 3/13. And I'm multiplying by 4. So here I've got it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, because I need it 4 times. Now I can see on this side how many whole ones I have. I have 8 whole ones, so I record it like that. Then on this side I can see I've got 3, 6, 9, 12. 12/13. So the answer is 8 and 12/13. And we can see from these bar models why the maths works. I'd like you to pause the video here please and have a go at this question. You can see I've helped you by laying it out, so 3 times the whole number, 3 times the fraction, and the two parts you need to add back together to get your final answer. Here is a bar model to help you visualise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whole ones split into 7ths and 2 7ths. On you go. Let's see how you did. So 3 times the whole number first, which is 5. 3 times 5 whole ones is 15 whole ones. Then we have to do 3 times the other part, which is 2 7ths. 3 times 2 is 6, so that's 6 7ths. And then these two parts we need to add back together. So 15 whole ones add 6 7ths is 15 whole ones and 6/7. Have a look at this one. 1 and 4/5 multiplied by 4. Here's a bar model to get you started. We have a whole one here, split into 5 parts, 5/5, and here I've got 4/5. I need to imagine 4 lots of that, and I'm going to split it down into the whole one, and then the fraction, and then the 2 answers to add back together. Pause the video and have a go. Let's see how you did. So here I'm going to build it 4 times. And I can see I'm going to do 4 lots of one whole one. That's this part, and that's 4. Then I'm doing 4 lots of 4/5. Can you see what's different this time? If I do 4 times 4, I get 16/5. Now this time you see I've ended up with an improper fraction. Well, let's put the 2 parts back together again first. 4 add 16/5 makes 4 and 16/5. But you and I both know that you can't have this as an improper fraction. It must be converted. How many 5s go into 16? Well, let's make a part-whole model to see. Here is my 16/5. How many times does it go in? 5, 10, 15. So 15/5 is one that fits in, and that's the same as 3 whole ones. From 15/5 to get to 16/5 is 1 more 5th. So that becomes 16/5 becomes 3 whole ones and 1/5. Now I need to add the whole ones, which is 4 whole ones add 3 whole ones, which is 7 whole ones, and add the 5th back on. And that's the final answer. Pause the video and have a go at this one, using the same idea. Let's see if you got the same. So I'm doing 5 times this, and you can see I've built it here. So I need 5 times the whole number first, which is 2, and that's 10 whole ones. Then I need to do 5 times by the 1/3. 5 times 1 is 5, 5/3, and I can see there it's an improper fraction. 3/3 is 1 whole one, and there'd be 2 more to get to 5/3, so that's 1 and 2/3. Now I need to add the parts back together. That's 10 whole ones and 1 and 2/3. Add the whole ones first. That's 11 and 2/3. Well done. Your turn, please, to have a go at questions 1 to 4 on the worksheet. And I'm going to show you how I'd like that to look here. So you're going to be sticking into your book today because it's tricky to draw. However, if you prefer to draw them out in your book using the squares, please do so. That would be fantastic. You can see the bar models are already built for you, and just like we practiced, it's laid out just the same way as we've just been doing. Please complete all the way to the end of question 4 before you come back to me. Pause the video now. Welcome back. Let's continue. 4 and 5/9 times by 9. And I'm saying that it's going to have an integer answer. Remember, integer means a whole number answer with no leftover fractions. Well, how do I know that? Well, I know that 9 is a multiple of 9, and therefore it's going to make into whole ones. That's how I know. Let's check it out. 4 times 9, I'm going to do that bit, which is 36. Let's look at this part then. It's the part here that makes me understand why I've got an integer. Because 9 is a multiple of 9, then anything I multiply it by will give me a multiple of 9. So 5 times 9 is 45. How many 9s go into 45? 5 of them, which is a whole number. 4 times 9 is 36. Add this 5 is 41, and 41 is an integer or whole number. Let's use that logic to help us have a think about this one. We're doing 5 times 86 and 3/10. Here we've got 12 and 3/7 times by 14 and 6 and 5/14 times by 42. Which ones would have an integer as the answer and which ones would have a non-integer answer and therefore have a leftover fraction part? Let's have a look then. We can see that 5 is a multiple of 10, but 10 is not a multiple of 5, and therefore it is not an integer answer. Here we can see 14 is a multiple of 7, so it will give us an integer answer. And 42 is a multiple of 14. 14, 28, 42. It fits in 3 times. So therefore, that is also an integer answer. Let's have a look at this one. 2 and 5/8 times by a number is 10 whole ones and a half. Remember, we need to have the same denominator on the bottom. So we need to change this half into eighths. 2 times 4 is 8, and 1 times 4 is 4. So let's have a look. That will become 10 and 4/8. Let's now, to help us with this, change this to an improper fraction and this to an improper fraction. 2 times 8 is 16, add 5 is 21. 10 times 8 is 80, add 4 is 84. And now you should be able to see that how many times 21 will go into 84. 20 times what is 80. 1 times what is 4. The easiest part there is 1 times 4 is 4. And 20 times 4 is 80. So we know the missing number is 4. Pause the video and have a think using those same skills here. Let's check how you did, or if you're not sure, please watch closely. So first step, remember, the denominators are different, they need to be the same. So we need to change this into 6. I would times that by 2, so I times that by 2. So that's 2 6. Let's record that down. Now I'm going to change both parts into improper fractions. 1 times 6 is 6, add 1 is 7/6. 9 times 6 is 54, add 2 is 56. There we've got the calculation. And now it's quite easy to see. A number times 7 is 56. That number is 8. And we found the answer. We put it back up here in the original calculation. Your turn, please, to have a go at questions 5 to 7 on the worksheet. I'd like you to lay it out like this in your book. So you stick it in on the left and write your explanations or calculations on the right. For example, do you agree with Ron? I disagree with Ron because, and give the explanation and prove why you're right. Maybe show the calculation as it should be. On 6, 3 1/3 times 7 days is how many litres in a week? And then for number 7, here you might want to pause the video because I've shown you how to make a start on the first part of that question. So I'd like you to have a go, please. You might want to pause this to support you to finish all the way up to the end of 7. Then for those of you in red group and those who like some extra challenge, here's your challenges. Here's the challenge, and here are the sentence starters to help you. Jack runs how many miles? For Jack's, you'll have to do 2 2/3, and he runs that 3 times. So you're going to do this number times 3 to find out how many miles he runs. For Dexter's, you're going to do 3 3/4 times 2, because that's what twice means. And then you're going to do the biggest answer to subtract the smallest answer to find out who runs further and by how much. On this one, you want to look for possible answers and give me one possibility of what could go in those gaps. And then give me explanation. So I've given you some sentence starters to help you to explain. You could pause the video to help you here. Good luck, and I can't wait to see you on Monday. Bye.